Dear students, we were discussing about curriculum development in Unit 2, and we have discussed about the first two steps of curriculum development in detail. That is, formulation of educational objective, and the second step was selection of learning experiences based on the educational objectives. Okay, first and second steps are over. Now we are moving to the third step of curriculum development according to Tyler, that is organization of learning experiences. Okay, so now we know that what is learning experience, and it is selected based on the principles and the qualities of a good learning experience we have selected, and that we have to organize in such a way that a holistic approach is given, or a whole approach is given to the students, and it is given equally for all. That is the organization of learning experiences. We are implementing the learning experiences in students. So that plan and that activities are coming in the organization of learning experiences. Okay, so this is our concept or regarding organization of learning experiences according to Tyler. So we know that Ralph Taylor is the person who developed these four steps of curriculum development, and what he intended in this particular step. Okay, so primary aim of organization of learning experiences in the curriculum is to bring and relate various learning experiences together to produce the maximum cumulative effect in order to give a unified view of the whole so that the learning objectives are achieved. So the importance of this particular step or step in curriculum development is such that we want to achieve the objectives. Okay, and there is a cumulative effect is given for all learning experiences. So we have selected a list of learning experiences. We have to provide that learning experiences to the students. So it should have its own place on each year or semester, and it should be given appropriately so that the students are getting benefit of out of that, and the teacher's objectives which we set in the first step is completed, or it is fulfilled. Okay, that is the importance of organization of learning experiences. Okay, so here we have to see that the continuity, sequence and integration has to be followed while organizing learning experiences. So these three things are very important when we are arranging, when we are organizing the learning experiences. That is continuity. So one after the another, there should be continuity. There should be sequence, that is there should be simple to complex or easy to difficult. So these maxims we have to follow when we are planning any learning experiences for our students. There should be integration, that is integration of theory, practice, and between the subjects also there should be proper integration. So these three things should be there in organizing learning experiences, and learning experiences have to be vertically and horizontally organized. So vertically and horizontally organization, that means from first year to second year there should be an organization, that is it should be continuous. And also in the horizontal organization, that means within the year there are different subjects, and there should be integration and correlation between the subjects within that particular year. So there should be an organization between the, or there should be a continuation between the first year to second year to third year. That progress should be there, and horizontally within the year there are many subjects, there are many theory blocks and practical blocks, so that should be integrated properly. So these are the things to be followed, that is continuity, sequence, integration should be followed, and this integration should be done vertically and horizontally. Next we can see the principles to be followed while organizing learning experiences. So in all steps they have in objectives, in selection of learning experiences, and now in organization, everywhere there are some principles to be followed. What are the things to be kept in mind? Okay. So the first principle says that learning experiences have to be so organized that succeeding experiences build upon those which preceded. So it should be continuous. So from first one we have to progress to the second one, and it should be based on the first one. So the second activity, the second learning experiences should be based on the previous one. So that is the first principle, that is learning experiences have to be so organized that succeeding experiences build upon those which preceded. We have to consider what was happened in the previous class, in the previous month, in the previous week, and based on that we have to plan for the next one. Okay. Learning experiences in one area and other areas should be related to each other. So they are not watertight compartments. So we have to consider what was happening in the previous area, and it should be continuous of the another one. It should be continuous with the other one. So that is the, it should be related to each other. So one after the another, and we have to relate one experience with another. There should be relations with this each one. It is not a watertight compartment. Any subject, any clinical experience, any theory block, it is not a watertight compartment. We have to relate each one with another. Okay. Learning experiences should utilize the allotted time in a cost effective manner. So, like when we are seeing the learning experiences principles, so one learning experience may provide many outcomes, and many learning experiences may be giving one outcome. So we have to select the learning experience in such a way that each and every learning experience provide multiple outcome, multiple behavior change in the students. So based on that we have to select the learning experiences, and we have to allow in such a way that the time is utilized in a better way. Okay, so single learning experience should provide maximum outcomes, and based on that we have to select this this type of learning experiences which provides maximum outcome, so that we can say that it is cost effective in terms of time. Okay. Learning experiences should be organized in broad areas in order to facilitate relating the learning experiences in allied area. So there should be some broad areas and allied areas. So broad areas and allied areas, that means speciality or specializations in our nursing. It is some broad areas like fundamentals of nursing or medical nursing, surgical nursing. These all are the some broad areas are there, and some allied areas are also important. For example, computer or statistics or communication, psychology, sociology, behavioral sciences. So these all are the some of the allied areas. So this broad areas are well supported by allied areas. So psychiatry, it is well supported by psychology, subject psychology. So broad areas are needed, and some supporting allied areas are also we have to plan. Okay. Broad principles of education has to be applied and emphasized. So teachers activity, learners activity, and also maxims of teaching, the principles of teaching, the laws of learning. So these all principles which we discussed in the first unit. Okay, principles of education, that's to be applied and emphasized when we are organizing learning experiences for the students. Okay. Provide ample opportunities for the students to concentrate and relate the various activities in different areas of learning. So, we have to provide ample opportunities for the students to concentrate and relate the various activities in different areas of learning. So, they should be able to relate their learned material to their real life. Okay, and also what they are learning in theory classes, they should be able to practice in the clinical area. So they should be able to apply the learned matter in different areas of learning. They should be able to apply it. So that is, opportunities should be provided for that. Okay. Next is provide opportunity to concentrate on one or more electives. So elective subjects like specialization subjects can be given for many students. But in BSc nursing curriculum, in that we will be preparing for a practicing nurse. Okay, there is no specialization, especially during PG studies and higher options. PG and higher level studies, there will be an elective subject can be given. But in BSc nursing, there is no elective option because this is a basic program, and after basic program only we can opt some specialization. So after BSc nursing, you can go for PG diploma programs, then short term courses, specialization, MSc nursing, or other higher studies. In that all areas you can have a specialization with elective subjects. Okay, so provide opportunity to concentrate on one or more elective. This is not for BSc program. For higher studies you can have electives. Okay. In organizing nursing educational program, the curriculum may have to be organized in terms of broad subject matter areas like humanities, behavioral sciences, biological sciences, and nursing sciences. So, whenever we are planning the nursing educational program, some broad areas of subjects we have to select first. So, social sciences, behavioral sciences, biological sciences, nursing sciences. So, from these particular subjects, we will be taking our other subtopics or sub subjects. Okay, so from nursing sciences, we may have to select child health nursing or OBG nursing or other nursing sciences. Okay, from biological sciences we will be having a list of biological sciences and which we suit for nursing curriculum. So anatomy, physiology, these all are the subjects which is required for biological sciences for nursing. So these are the broad areas we have to select, and from that we have to select the sub areas. Okay, that is the arrangement. Organization of learning experiences in the curriculum should be neither too flexible nor too rigid. So, whenever we are planning any curriculum, it should not be too rigid or too flexible. It should meet the requirements of the society. Okay, whatever things we are planning, it will be there, but we have to fix according to the needs of the society and needs of the time. Okay, so that is about the, it should not be too rigid, no, too flexible also. Clinical experiences and assignments should be valued on the basis of experiences provided to students. Okay, clinical experiences and assignments should be valued on the basis of experiences provided to the students. So, whenever we are valuing the students' performance, we have to value whether that particular exposure is given to the students, and depending upon that, we have to value the students' performance. So, if they have not posted or they have not received any posting in that particular area, we cannot we cannot assume that they can perform that particular activity. So whether they obtain that performance exposure or the quality of exposure, that also we have to consider, and we have to evaluate the students' performance assignments. Learning experiences have to be future oriented. So every time we have to consider that in future what is required, and depending upon that we have to provide the learning experiences. Okay. So these are the principles to be followed while organizing learning experiences. Principles to be followed while organizing learning experiences, and the elements of organizing learning experiences. What are the elements which we have to keep in mind when we are organizing learning experiences, or what all things we have to organize? So the first one is grouping learning experiences under subject headings, preparation of master plan for curriculum, placement of learning experiences in the total curriculum, preparation of correlation chart, organization of clinical experiences, and types of teaching system have to be followed. So these are the headings under which or we will be organizing the learning experiences. So organization of learning experience means these are the steps through which we will be organizing the learning experiences. So that we will be discussing in the next class.